Hey everyone, welcome back to another session of Education Abroad's program. For this session, I will focus on programs in Korea through UCEAP. So for the Korea programs, we have 6 programs, okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different schools, and technically one school that has like 3 programs, which is Yonsei. So for Yonsei, they have the Summer Global Internship Program with the partnership of CIEE. And then they also have the Yonsei University Summer Program. So we'll get into more details later for those specific summer programs. But let's just do a brief overview of all the programs in Korea. So we have the KAIST, Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. You can do a year, spring semester or fall semester. And then we have Korea University, which you can also do a year, spring semester or fall. And then for Seoul National University, there is no year program option. So they only have the spring semester or the fall semester option. And then finally, we have Yonsei, which you can do fall semester, spring semester, and also a year. So for your program options, we have 3 options, which is KAIST, Korea University, and Yonsei. Okay? Continuing with the requirements for each program, it does seem like Korea University has the lower minimum GPA requirements. As you can see, it only requires a minimum GPA of 2.5 GPA, whereas the rest of the other schools, KAIST, National University, and Yonsei, you do need a 2.85 GPA or above to apply. Let's focus on class levels. It seems like KAIST, Korea, they accept juniors or above. So National University, they accept sophomores or above, and in Yonsei, kind of the same with Korean University and KAIST, they only accept juniors or above. Okay, so that's for the class levels. For the courses, all schools do have courses that are taught in either English or Korean, and there are no language prerequisite. In terms of the city, Korean University, Seoul National University, and Yonsei is all in Seoul, whereas KAIST is in Daejeon. So that's located in, I would say, the middle of South Korea. How far is it from Seoul? It's only around an hour through KTX, so the high-speed rail in Korea. If you choose to take a bus, that'll be like around a little over 2 hours. So it's still, not necessarily too far from Seoul, but still, there is a distance between those 2 cities. So yeah, for the next session, I will get into specific details for each program. Hey everyone, so I'm going to continue with going more into detail for each school. So we're going to start with Korea University first, which is also known as K. So I'm here on their academics page, and as you can see, they do offer unique study opportunity. For example, Korea University has their own KU Global Services Center. They have the language exchange program. So if you feel like you want to practice and learn more Korean with a fellow local Korean student there, they do have the program there. So keep an eye out for that if you do go through with the KU option. And Korean University, they offer a variety of courses taught in English across different fields. So as you can see there, language instruction includes English and Korean. And in terms of language study, you're not required to take Korean language courses, but feel free to sign up for it if you do want to learn more Korean. They do offer beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels every semester through their Institute of Foreign Language Studies. So if you're interested in that, please consult with your study abroad team and look through the KU course catalog. And you'll be given a placement test to evaluate your language level during the orientation. And besides that, you may be able to enroll courses taught in Korean if you are a native Korean speaker or just someone who already is fluent in Korean and would want to take courses in Korean. But you do have to get approval first, and you do need a high level of proficiency in reading, writing, comprehension of university level Korean to succeed in these courses. So even if you consider yourself fluent in Korean, if you feel like you may struggle or maybe not up to par with the level, you probably want to reconsider it again and maybe ask around your fellow students or classmates or just anyone at KU how difficult that level may be. So requirements while abroad. So for the program at KU, there are certain units or credits you need to abide. You have to take a full-time course of study, which is a minimum of 18 quarter or 12 semester UC units, which are equal to around 3 to 4 courses. Most courses at KU are 3 U credits, which is the same for 3 semester units since they are a semester-based school, so that'd be around 4.5 quarter units. You may take up to a maximum of 28.5 quarter or 19 semester UC units, which is equivalent to around 5 to 6 courses. If you do want to take some courses or like pass or no pass credits, you can take a max of 1 course for that as long as it hits 18 UC quarter units. If you want to take more courses with pass or no pass option, then you have to take at least 22.5 UC quarter units, 5 courses or more, and you may select up to 2 courses for that. Okay. So for the current program courses, please be aware that first, the courses that are taught in English, as I mentioned earlier, is through various fields, including engineering, computer science, business, international studies, media and communication, many more. There will be some that are not available, which I'll get into later. And then courses that are updated in the catalog in January for the spring semester and in July for the fall semester. Something that is not guaranteed is that the courses that you may be interested, they may not be offered every semester or every year. There may be minor changes, so that's something for you to keep in mind of. And courses are assigned on a course number related to level. So like 100, 200, 300, 400. So level 100 to 200 are lower divisions, and 300 to 400 are upper divisions, with some exceptions for courses that are comparable to lower division at UC. Internships and research are typically not available in this program, so this is strictly study abroad. So course restrictions. So there are certain courses or departments at KU that are not available to exchange students. So this includes medicine, nursing, pharmacy, law, teacher education, Division of Information Security, or the Cyber Defense and School of Art and Design. Graduate level courses or courses at the Sejong campus are not open to study abroad students. So Korea University, they do have a campus in Sejong City. So that's just something for you to know. Because this program will be through the program at Seoul, I don't think it's something for you to worry about. Just something for you to know, just in case. Courses in business, international studies, media communications, and psychology are impacted. So these courses are typically quite popular, and then courses geared towards English language learners are not available for UCEAP students. There are catalogs and resources here for your information. You may take a look at these at your free time, so I won't go over these. And then for academic culture, it can typically be a lot different from the US academic culture. Typically in a Korean education setting, you are expected to show respect through regular attendance and polite interactions. Avoid confrontation and voicing out your opinions if possible. Possibly you can voice your opinions on certain topics, but it has to be done in like a moderate respectful tone. So avoid showing disrespects, being impolite, demanding with your tone. Try to be sensitive to each instructor. Each instructor's speaking styles may be different, and a lot of times these instructors, they're doing their best to teach the course in English, and English is not their first language. So a lot of times you may encounter instructors that have a heavy accents while teaching in English. So try to be more understanding, and in my experience, eventually you'll get used to the accents and understand to some extent. If you don't understand the course at all because of the accent, you're always encouraged to ask questions. So that's the advice I can give. Okay, and then something extra to add is that at KU they have their buddy assist program, where they assign a local Korean based on language abilities and interests. So if you're interested, you can sign up for it, and then you'll have a personal interview, and based on your language ability interest, they'll pair you with a buddy to help adjust you to the local student life at KU and also get involved in the student life. So for grades, your academic performance is graded according to the following criteria, which includes exams, assignment results, attendance, and class participation. You'll usually take exams twice per semester, which usually consists of a midterm and a final, and may be given additional assignments throughout the semester. You need a minimum of 70% attendance to earn a passing grade. So if you miss too many classes, even if you do well on your exams and assignments, there's still a chance you can fail. Fall grades are usually available from early February to early March. Spring grades are usually available from mid-July to mid-August. So it does seem like for this specific school, Korean University, you'll get your grades a lot earlier compared to other programs. So that's for Korean University. For academics, let's move on to housing. Okay, so there's different options for housing. Let's see. So you can do dorm, which is dorm, homestay, hostel, apartment. At least 4 options, but these are self-arranged. For the dorms, specifically it's the international dorms that are divided into one building for male students and one for female students, and then one in which both genders live in the floors separated by gender. Students typically will share a suite and then will share the shower and toilets. Each building will have a shared kitchen, fitness center, common room, and laundry facilities. You may also choose a private or a shared room with 1 or 2 other students. Okay, so for the dorms on campus, private or shared, depending on your preferences. It's on campus, and there is a meal plan you can opt in for. You'll typically live with either local Korean students or international students, depending on who you get paired with. Usually it's randomly. And for the dorms on campus, it's near the ice rink and across campus from the university's main gates. So you can just walk to class or take the KU shuttle line. So very, very convenient. Let's move on to homestay. If you're interested in integrating more into the Korean life in general, there is a private company that can help you arrange a homestay and put in touch with families in Seoul that are willing to host you. Reservations are available in English as well as a variety of other languages. And you should expect to communicate primarily in the language spoken by the family during your stay, so through Korean. And if you prefer the homestay option, you'll be provided a link to research your options and a list of questions so you can understand what are the living arrangements and transportation options. So the homestay accommodation, you can expect either a private or shared bedroom, same for the bathroom, off campus. And for the meal plan at the homestay, usually they provide breakfast and dinner. So you'll live with local Korean residents or international students. And the community class depends on the location of your homestay, but many of them are within walking distance. For hostels, they're typically tiny self-contained rooms with minimal furniture plus a shared kitchen and laundry. They may vary widely in terms of rates, cleaning services, and meals, and some that may be gender specific. So a lot of these hostels could be either male only or female only. If you prefer to live off campus at a hostel, you'll be provided a link with a research for your options and some questions to ask so you can understand the living arrangements and transportation options before you leave. So you'll either have a private or shared bedroom, same for the bathroom, and it's off campus and there's no meal plan other than some basic meals that are provided at hostel. So it could be like kimchi or yellow radish. At the hostels, usually other international students or travelers will live there. And commute, again, depends on the location of your hostel. So that's for housing. Let's look at the cost. So for the cost, this will vary depending on your UC campus and whether you are a California resident or in-state student. So we're just going to assume that you are an in-state California resident, not a graduate student, and then we're choosing let's choose the spring term. And then for campus, I'll just choose UC Davis for this session. So if we're doing a spring semester, the total estimated program cost of attendance is around $20,594 US. Okay, let's see how much fall is. So fall is a little bit cheaper, but not by too much. $20,094 US. So around like $500 cheaper. Let's say we want to do a year program. How much that would be? So yeah, twice the price. So it would be like $41,088 US. So that's something you can keep in mind of. Feel free to consult with your study abroad advisor and also your financial aid advisor on how much your financial aid package may be included for studying abroad. Okay, so that's for the cost. And then for support, I'm not going to go through detail, but if you're interested on what support you can expect, you can just take a look here. So before you go, you'll be given a lot of information and materials and resources for each team. You'll have your dedicated UCEAP program team, disability supports. There are on-site disability coordinators at Korea University, and many more. And while you're abroad, there is an academic specialist that can help advise you on program academic requirements, and mental health supports, and then you'll be given a crisis management information. Okay, so that is it for KU. I will talk about Seoul National University in the next video. Hey everyone, continuing with this session, we're going to continue with Seoul National University, also known as SNU. So starting with academics, they have courses that are taught in English, over 400, and they also have courses that are taught in Korean and that's available in a wide range of fields. So language instruction is English and Korean, and again, Korean language study is optional here. They have beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. For this one, there is no language placement test, so you can just self-select your level and make adjustments after arrival. Typically, only one section for each level is offered, and enrollment can be pretty competitive. So it's not recommended if your focus is on only Korean language study. Okay, moving to courses and credit. To successfully complete this program, you must take a full-time course study, which is minimum of 18 quarter or 12 semester UC units, so around 3 to 4 courses. Most courses are 3 SNU credits, so that'll be equivalent to 3 semester UC units, since they are a semester-based school. So that'll equal to 4.5 quarter units. They take up to a max of 27 quarter or 18 semester UC units, so around 5 to 6 courses. And if you take 18 UC quarter units, you may take a max of 1 course for pass or no pass. If you want to take 2 classes for pass or no pass, you must take up to 22.5 UC quarter units. In terms of the current program courses, please note that most courses are open to exchange students unless otherwise noted. They may require proof of requisite knowledge, and some are restricted to particular majors. Undergraduates are allowed to enroll in graduate courses if they're not restricted, but you must contact the course instructor for permission in advance for registering this. SNU course numbers don't correlate with a year of level for UCEAP. The academic year field in the SNU course catalog is helpful in determining lower or upper division credits. 1 and 2 are beginning courses, and usually lower division 3 or 4 are for advanced students and are usually upper division. Courses that start with a 0 are master's or doctorate courses, but this is used as a general guideline, so please take note of that. Okay, so for course restrictions, courses in the College of Business Administration are highly impacted, and admission to the College of Fine Arts is very challenging. The Department of Computer Science and Engineering and the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering are not as available as SNU major choice for exchange students as of fall 2026. It may be possible to to enroll in one or two of those courses, but you do face some uncertainties, and it's not guaranteed. The College of Medicine, Pharmacy, Nursing, and School of Dentistry are not open to exchange students, and the College of Law is not available to undergraduate level students. Instead, the School of Law is a specialized law school for graduate level students. Will be open to undergraduate students. Okay, so we're gonna go through every single restriction, so please read carefully and consult with your study abroad advisor. So academic culture is the same, for any school. You need to show respect to the culture and attend your classes and respect, all the interactions with your other fellow classmates. Don't ever be confrontational or demanding. Some of them may be more traditional than others, maybe even so possibly for Seoul National University compared to Korea University and other schools, just because you'll see more local Korean students here and less international students here compared to other schools. So there's that. And for the grades, the majority of courses utilize curved grading, whilst the courses will use absolute grading system. So it'll depend on which courses you will take, the style of the professor's grading style. Some assessments may include attendance, participation papers, group projects, etc. And the grades for the fall term are typically available from early March, and then the grades from spring are typically available from late July, late August. So fairly early compared to other schools. So that's for academics. So for housing, I'm not going to go into each detail because it's pretty similar to the options you have for Korea University. So it's either a dorm, homestay, or hostel. Okay, so I'll just focus only on the dorms on campus, in which you will request a room in one of the two resident halls on the Kwanhak main campus. The Global Residence Hall is newly constructed, and the Kwanhak Residence Hall is a 3-building complex on campus with a dining hall, restaurants, and cafeteria. There's also on-site fitness centers, which feature a full schedule of CrossFit, yoga, and Pilates. There's also a 24-hour convenience store, which makes it very convenient and easy for you to obtain snacks and food at any time. And then you'll share the dorm of one or two other students. A refrigerator and washer is included in the rooms. In Korean tradition, it is polite and you are expected to remove your shoes when you enter the room. And there'll be a shoe rack right inside the door. And if you have any questions, there'll be residence advisors on site that can provide assistance. Okay, so for accommodation, shared bedroom, bathroom is on campus, but there is no meal plan. And for who you'll live with, they'll be randomly assigned, so there's a chance you'll either live with international students or local Korean students. So that's for housing. For cost, we're gonna go with the same filters. We're gonna use this as like a guideline. There's no year program, so we can only compare the cost difference between spring and the fall. Based on what we saw from the cost from the Korea University page, there is a chance that the fall semester might be slightly cheaper, but let's just take a look. Spring, around $20,394 US. So compared to the Korea University options, this is around $100 or $120 difference. This is a little bit cheaper, but to be honest, not a big difference. Let's look at fall. Okay, yeah, it's slightly cheaper. So this cost compared to the spring semester cost, it's around, so this is 19,844. So around like a $500 difference. So if you're a little bit tight on budget and still want to study abroad at Seoul National University, fall is probably the best choice. The reason why spring is a little bit more expensive is because spring is typically the first semester in Korea. So it's the opposite from here in the US, where typically fall semester or quarter starts in the fall time. So yeah. So the fall semester in Korea would be considered as like the second semester of the year over there. Okay, so that is it. I'm not gonna go through support because you can just kind of look over here if you have any questions and review. It's typically the same process, like you have your own assigned program team, medical on-site staff if that's necessary. And you'll have your own academic specialists and global travel assistants. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Hi everyone, so continuing with the next session, we'll be focusing on Yonsei University. So before I even start with academic housing and like internships and cost, you can definitely notice here that there is a video here where you can take a look at the UCEAP South Korea takeover with the Yonsei Study Center. So keep in mind for UCEAP, or just in general, like Yonsei University used to have like the longest established history and partnership. There's a dedicated study center there compared to other schools. So definitely there is more support here for anyone who is considered studying abroad. And a lot of the time students do choose Yonsei just because it's, for a long time, this is one of the few schools that was like probably the only option for UC students. So Seoul National University and Korean University, the two schools I just went over, they're fairly new still. I believe they've been established not too long ago, maybe 4 years ago, like 2021, 2022, I want to say. So over there, they don't have any study centers there, and you're pretty much on your own. And I believe the only support you'll get is from like the global staff there on campus. Whereas here, you actually have UCEAP, a specialized UCEAP team. Okay, let's start with academics. So one of the unique study opportunities is that you could observe dynamic South-North Korean relations while learning its history, learn about global impact of Korean popular culture in music, dance, fashion, media, understand East Asian economic political relations, participate in research, independent study, or an internship for academic credit. So definitely in terms of study opportunities, you can definitely see a pretty huge difference compared to Seoul National University and Korean University. This is a lot more unique, kind of more on brand for people who don't really know much about Korea and want to know more about like the culture, the history, society. It also expands to other fields like Korean popular culture, East Asian economic political relations. So there's that. So yeah, so they have courses in English and Korean, and Korean language study is written unless you're fluent in Korean, although it is still optional. The study center at Yonsei University do arrange activities to assist your language skills. They do have like a Korean speaking club, language study program that will pair you with Yonsei Student University who's planning to attend UC on exchange. So definitely a lot of support here, even if you don't plan to take any Korean language classes. Okay, so aside from language studies, you will primarily take courses in English unless you're fluent in Korean. If you're fluent in Korean, you can enroll courses that are taught in Korean, but you are expected to have a high level of proficiency in reading, writing, comprehension to understand university level Korean. This is necessary to succeed in these courses. So for courses, it's fairly similar to other schools I just mentioned. You're expected to take full-time course of study, which will be a minimum of 3 to 4 courses, 18 quarter or 12 semester use units. Most courses, again, are 3 Yonsei University credits, so equivalent to a semester unit. In quarters, is 4.5 quarter units. You may take up to a max of 27 quarter or 18 semester use units, so that's around 5 to 6 courses. And for the pass or no pass, it's pretty much the same. You just need to pick a certain amount to opt for a pass or no pass credit. Okay, so current program courses, there's a lot of variety, like business, economics, engineering, history, communications, etc. For UC undergraduate students with senior standing, so if you're in your last year, you can take 1 graduate level course per semester. And a list of those will be open to exchange students provided by Yonsei. So you must be a senior standing student to take at least 1 graduate level course. And in terms of the course number division, Yonsei course numbers don't necessarily correlate with a year or level for you. The grade field in the Yonsei course calc is helpful in determining lower or upper division credits. 1 and 2 are typically lower division. 3 and 4 are for advanced students that are usually up in upper division. Courses that start with a 0 are for all students. They either be upper or lower depending on the content of the course. Okay, be aware of enrolling in UIC and IEE courses if you plan on using these courses to fulfill major requirements. So yeah. For course restrictions, you do want to check the information in the precautions column of your Yonsei course catalog. Courses that are generally marked with a Y or open exchange students. If they're marked with a no at the end, they're not open to exchange students. Courses at the international campus, which is not in Seoul, it's in Songdo, which is another city in Korea, are not open to exchange students. Restricted faculties include medicine, dentistry, nursing, pharmacy, music, MBA, and law. Courses in computer science, they are open, but are impacted and very competitive. So if you didn't get into any of those courses and are probably on the wait list, there's a good chance you may not be able to get in because they will prioritize mostly the local major students there. And one unique thing at Yonsei University is that you can arrange research or independent study for academic credits in certain fields. If you're interested in either option, you can propose a plan after arrival in Korea. Okay, in terms of academic culture, it's pretty similar again, pretty much the same. That's because there's a big emphasis on Confucian tradition, so respect for teachers and universities is a big thing to consider and to have. You get to be polite with both professors and fellow students. And when opinions are challenged, it's done with a moderate tone. Some may be more traditional than others. Some faculty leaders are Western educated. Many of them might have gone their degrees overseas, like the US or the UK, and they do encourage discussion, interactive atmosphere. You want to be sensitive and kind of read the room in terms of the instructor's style. Again, some instructors, not all the instructors, may have heavy accents that are difficult to understand. So just prepare yourself to be, adjust to that. And many instructors are highly recognized scholars in fields, prominent professionals, government policymakers, and consultants in prestigious firms are also present at Yonsei University. Okay? Unlike UC's, faculty members in South Korea really keep regular office hours. So instead of that, you'll contact them by email to set up a meeting. And they even have tips for you to succeed at Yonsei University, which you can read here. And then for grades, this might be a little bit different from what you're used to, but attendance is also usually an important factor in assigning the final course grade. And your grade is composed of exams, participation, papers, assignments, group, individual works, and participation is usually part of 15 to 20% of your grade, and then the presentations and others account for 20 to 30%. For Korean language courses, though, you need to be very diligent and take the courses seriously. The grading year can be a lot more rigorous than the UCs. So if you miss too many assignments or you miss too much classes, do expect your final grade to be impacted. And then I can expect your grades is usually the same. So if you're taking the fall, you'll expect them around mid-February to mid-March. Spring grades can be mid-July to mid-August. So I guess compared to other schools, it's a little bit more delayed, but not too bad. Let's look at housing. Okay, for housing, the only exception for Yonsei is there's no homestay option for this one, so you can expect either dorm or apartments. For dorms, you do have two options, either the international house or the SK Global House. So once you get in, you basically sign up and you'll be placed in either one of these. And you'll be expected to share a shared bedroom, bathroom, it's on camp, no meal plan, okay? And SK Global House and International House, the local Korean students don't live there, so only international students. So you'll either live with UC students or other international students. And very convenient. It's only around a 10 to 15 minute walk to class. It's on campus though, so yeah, depending on how fast you walk, it'll be between 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see if there's anything for apartments. I guess, okay, there's nothing for apartments. So for apartment, if you're interested in that, you'll have to arrange on your own. And you can potentially contact the local study center at Yonsei and see what recommendations they have. Internships. Okay, so this is something that we didn't have for other schools. So we'll take a brief overview of this one. Yeah, so for this one, it's possible to arrange your own internship. And a variety of fields can cover media, business, education, marketing, public relations, but they're optional. So if you're not interested, you can pretty much skip this session. You can intern in English, but proficiency in Korean will broaden your internship options. And there's no course required, but to receive academic credit, you'll have to attend regular meetings with your internship supervisor and complete a final project on paper. You will receive detailed instructions on completing these requirements after you arrive. For the internship, it can replace a course, and it can be taken for pass or no pass credit. Okay? So if you're interested, please consult with your study abroad advisor, let them know your plan. And once you have that plan all ready and you'll arrive in Korea and then consult with your study abroad center there. Okay? So yeah. So this is a really good option if you're interested in kind of spending more like on academics. I'm gonna do something more, useful for your career. Okay. UCEAP also has internship awards here. They do provide an internship award of $750 US. And so if you want to know more information about this, please go on their websites and take a look here and see if you are eligible. And if you're interested, you can submit your application. Just make sure you have these materials on hand. Okay, great. Last but not least, cost. So for costs, yeah, we're gonna do the same filters. Okay, there's also the year option, but let's do spring first. Okay, spring. Yeah, surprisingly, it's one of the less expensive. This is probably the least expensive so far compared to Korean University and Seoul National University, considering the total cost. Let's take a look at fall. It's the same for fall. It's the same for fall. Let's see. I'm trying to see what's different. Yeah, it does seem like the UC tuition, UC fees, and campus fees remain the same, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's the same. Let's take a look at the year. A year will be $37,388 US. So I think compared to the Korean University option, it's still cheaper. Let me double check really quick, because I believe Korean University is around 3,000 more. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive. Yeah. Okay, so this is the total estimated cost. Keep in mind though, for the estimated cost, it's just like an outline and a number for you to kind of expect. It could be more, it could be less. If you're planning to do more traveling, then it would be a good idea if you can add more buffer to the final cost, and then also consider it like your financial aid package and how much it will cover your study abroad program, and including any scholarships. Okay, so that's it for Yonsei University. I'll see you in the next video. Session of education abroad programs. We're going to continue with our final school for Korea, which is KAIST, also known as Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. So I mentioned earlier that the biggest difference for this school compared to the other schools, Yonsei, Korea University, and SNU, is that this one is in Daejeon. Okay, and as you can see based on like name of the school, they specialize in the science and technology. So if you are STEM related major, you can definitely consider this school that may aid into your studies. So on their academics page here, yeah, their main fields of study is engineering, humanities, and science. So they do have humanities as well. And they do offer a wide variety of STEM courses taught in English, and you can complement your STEM studies with some popular humanities courses that could be around Asian culture, arts, culture, film, history, literature, and many more. Some of the unique study opportunities here is that you can conduct an independent research project under KAIST, faculty supervision. and you can learn more about Asian art and culture with popular humanities offers. So language instruction, yeah, of course, is in English and Korean. Language study is optional, again. So they have Korean language courses from beginners, intermediate, and advanced level. You may enroll in these courses taught in Korean if you have the language ability. There's no placement test that is required, but a high level of proficiency in reading, writing, and comprehension of university level where Korean is required to succeed in these courses. Okay? If you want to know more about the KAIST Korean Language Guide, there's a link here. It provides a comprehensive introduction of the Korean language. It's recommended even if language study isn't in your academic plan. Okay? So to successfully complete this program, you need to take a full-time course study in minimum 18-quarter or 12-semester UC units. So that'll be 4 courses. You may take up to a max of 8 courses, and the pass or no pass rule is pretty much the same for this school, along with other schools. For program courses at KAIST, they offer College of Business. You can look into College of Business, College of Liberal Arts and Convergent Science, Life Science, Bioengineering, Natural Science, and Transdisciplinary Studies. Okay? Course registration typically occurs in July for fall term and January for the spring term. Some course restrictions you should take note of are School of Computing courses are typically impacted and varied. Seoul campus the courses there are not offered to UC students, so that is one thing you have to pay attention to. Graduate courses are not open to undergraduate students, and similarly, graduate students cannot take undergraduate courses. And UC students cannot enroll in courses for English language learners, such as advanced English listening, reading, writing, etc. And here are some catalogs and resources for you to better know about KAIST. And for KAIST, the faculty follow a student-centered academic model. So it encourages open discussion and active learning. For example, calculus and chemistry are offered with a combination of online lectures and class discussions. The university has used English as the primary language of instruction since 2008, and nearly 85% of the courses are taught in English. While the class sizes are typically smaller with around 20 to 30 students, they do allow for a more personalized experience and individual attention. And professors are generally accessible, and many students work closely with professors throughout the term. So based on this description here, the academic culture is quite different. I would arguably say very, very different. Not only because the university uses English as a primary language for their instructions for classes, but it's very encouraging of open discussion and active learning, something you may or may not see at other schools. I would say Yonsei University comes second in terms of this, and Seoul National University and Korean University, you may or may not see a lot of that, and it's very lecture-based. So yeah, academic culture here, KAIST seems to be the most open. And then for grades, your academic work will be assessed primarily by exams, attendance, research reports, and participation. Some assessments you can expect are essays, group and individual projects, and presentations. And the grades are pretty much the same in terms of how they're distributed. Housing. So for housing, only the dorm is offered and is program arranged. Okay, so you'll select the dorm option when you submit your application, and you'll be notified when it's confirmed. You won't be able to choose your roommates, but you can select either a private or shared room. On campus, there's no meal plan. Because it's randomly assigned, you'll be either living with international student, local Korean students, UC student, or just any US student who is studying there. The dorms are located on the west side of campus, and you can get to most part of the campus within a 15 to 20 minute walk. Cost. So in terms of cost, we're going to stick with the same filters. Yes. No. Let's do spring first. $18,294. So not bad. 17. Okay, yeah. For fall semester, it's slightly cheaper by around $500, which is quite a big contrast. And if you do a year program, it'll be around almost 35,000 US dollars. So yeah, compared to Yonsei and Korean University, the year program and also like the cost for each semester is the cheapest out of all. Okay. But again, this school is located in Daejeon, so a lot of students, either from the US or just from anywhere, they're usually eyeing schools in Seoul. So if location is a concern, KAIST might not be in your best interest to study abroad at. Also, if you're not a STEM-related major, studying abroad at KAIST may not be the most optimal choice, since even though they do have courses in humanities, it's usually just to complement students who are taking already STEM-heavy classes. So that's one thing to kind of consider if you think KAIST would be the best option. But in terms of reputation, KAIST is one of the tops, and their academic culture is something that you can take consideration of. Very open, very encouraging of open discussions, quite similar to what you can expect from studying at like a school from the West, the US or Europe. Okay, so that's it for this part, and I'll see you in the next session. Hey everyone, I'm going to record this very, very quick. I want to kind of make a conclusion based on the program overviews for each school. I'm sure that a lot of you may still be wondering, well, Mason, which school would be the best for me still? Some of them may be cheaper than others, but you may be wondering, even though so, you may care more about the program quality. So I would say based on the overall program cost, what academics they offer, personally, I would say Yonsei would be the most balanced in terms of academics and cost-wise, as well as the convenience of the location. If you are a student who's never studied abroad before and you do want to be in a big city and have the most support as possible, to be quite honest, Yonsei University kind of checks up a lot of those marks, solely because Yonsei University is one of the top schools, and it's located in the Sinchon area, which is an area where very popular with the students. There's a lot of cafes, a lot of restaurants. There's always a lot of fun things to do. To be quite honest, at each university, even including at Seoul National University, Korean University, there's always going to be an area where students can kind of hang out and find good food cafes. But comparably, I would say Yonsei would offer the most enriching experience. So it's convenient, and also it's kind of close to the center of Seoul. It's only around a 20 or 30 minutes public transportation commutes to places like Gyeongbokgung Palace, around that area. And public transportation-wise from Incheon Airport, Sinchon area is not too far from Incheon. I think comparing it to areas like Seoul National University and Korean University, those places are a little bit further from Incheon airports. So, yeah. In addition, I would say because there is a study abroad center at Yonsei University, you have a lot of support. You can contact them. You can contact the local Yonsei global, I think it's called Global One-Stop Support Center. There's a lot of resources for international students, and it's because Yonsei University has a long history of knowing how to navigate and accommodate international students. I believe their service is probably one of the best compared to the other schools that I just mentioned. So Yonsei overall, yeah, so let's just rank it. Yonsei number 1, number 2, and 3 and 4, if I were to rank Korean University, Seoul National University, and KAIST, it's a little bit of a toss-up. Personally, I would put KAIST maybe the last one, but depending on what your major is, if you are majoring in something STEM related and you feel like you want to be more academically disciplined, to being in an environment where you can actually fully integrate into the coursework and Also, if you don't really care to be in Seoul and want to experience an academic environment, also a city outside of Seoul, then KAIST may be your next best option, or perhaps it may even be the number one option for you. So there's that. For KAIST, I will say that KAIST, one of their remarking qualities that they have is their academic climate. It does seem like they're more open, more interactive based. It's not just like lecture based overall. So if you do care more about the quality in terms of that, that's an extra point for you to consider of. So yeah, so that leaves us with Seoul National University and Korean University. I would say Korean University is in the middle, kind of, but not really close to either like major attraction in Seoul. So if that is one of your priorities, if convenience to places like Hongdae or Gangnam is a big concern for you, Korean University might be third place in terms of that. And then Seoul National University is, the good thing is that it's only like a few stops from Gangnam, for example. So at least Seoul National University has something going on for that. Personally, I might put Korean University over Seoul National University a little bit, just because Korean University's overall support quality for international students is a little bit better than Seoul National University. While I think even though Seoul National University's student population is mostly Korean, there are still international students there, but I do believe they have a higher percentage or ratio of Korean students over international students compared to like Yonsei or Korean University. So in terms of support, it's still fine, but you might find more support at Korean University in that sense. So if you care more about the international student support quality, I would say Korean University is a little bit better. But some students may care more about finding local Korean student friends. And so your chances of running into a Korean student or having a roommate who is Korean is higher at Seoul National University. But at the same time, at Yonsei University, even though you're pretty much going to be roomed with a international student or your fellow classmates, the Study Abroad Center does have a buddy program, and they do pair you up with a local Yonsei University Korean student. So, there's a lot of factors like these that play into your decision. So personally, I would rank Yonsei as number one, which may be a little bit unfair, as I mentioned, because they have a long relationship, doing these type of programs and support. So if Yonsei is kind of out option for you, then I would put Korean University, Seoul National University, and KAIST at the bottom probably. Yeah, personally for me, only because I am not a STEM related major. I don't really have any knowledge, studying STEM. So my opinion and my experience may differ from you. So if you are a STEM student, please definitely consider KAIST if that's something that attracts you. Because I do feel like if I were to have a background in STEM, or if that was my major, I would definitely consider KAIST on my study abroad program list. So there you go. I hope you found this helpful. There's still a lot of details that I didn't really cover. I did cover cost, but to be quite honest, each person's financial aid package is quite different. So it's always best to consult with your study abroad advisor and also your financial aid advisor on how that would work, how much aid you would receive, if there's any extra program fees you need to pay, just to get a better understanding on that. You're definitely encouraged to consult with them. And after you receive all the information, then you can make a final decision. My tips are more on kind of the overall student academic support of the quality of programs. So yeah, that's it. I hope you found this session helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I will see you guys in the next video. I'll probably cover programs in Japan. So yeah. Anyways, have a great day and I'll see you guys soon.